皆さんこんにちは、やまけいです。NBA2K19 マイキャリア。今日はどこだっけ、ミネソタですね。ミネソタティンバーウルブスの試合をやっていきたいと思います。
We have a treat for you folks. The big ticket is here. Kevin Garnett in the house. KG, welcome.
Man, a lot of people don't know that you actually gave me the name, the big ticket. I hope you got a package of all this somewhere. I hope you own all the names that you've given over the years.
You are the big ticket still. Great to have Kevin Garnett. Last outing for Minnesota, they won that game against the Cavaliers in Cleveland.
I mean, they were so impressive offensively, and when you do that, that can really help you on the road.
I think intensity is the key, right, Greg? When you play with energy on the offensive end, good things usually happen.
And the starting lineup for the Pelicans, Davis is out there with Ewing, and there's Jackson, and there's Bojan Bogdanovic, and it's Cameron in its shooting guard. Kevin, you think about the work that goes into being an elite player. Describe that. What did you try to accomplish?
What are you going to do in these positions right here? When they trap you, how are you going to get the ball out? When you're not trapped, when you're one-on-one, what are the moves you're working on down here? Okay, on the right block. Okay, what about the left block? What about the top of the key? You get an ISO top of the key, what are you going to do? 5 seconds, what are you going to do? So you have to invest in yourself. After you get done with that, that's probably 45 minutes to an hour. You go in, you shower, you get done with that, take your behind home, sit and rest. Now you, obviously, as a person, you're living as a human being, your everyday life. But yeah, it's a lot.
Sounds exhausting.
It is, but it is a cycle that you are able to create for yourself. And once you're in it, and it turns over like in every day. You know, this is what you do every day. Sort of like a routine. And once you get that routine, it is what it is. And I was able to keep a routine for 21 years.
Amazing.
Amazing. And you know what?
21 years.
21 years, I added things on to my routine, but if you ask anybody to play with me, they see my routine. I did my routine every day. Never missed a day of not doing my routine.
And Kevin, you think about the importance of veteran mentorship for young players looking back. Who provided that mentorship for you?
Sam Mitchell, Terry Porter, shout to Doug West, shout to J.R. Ryder, shout to Christian Laettner. All these were my vets, both good and bad. I'm learning something from all these guys. Shout to Kevin McHale, shout to rest in peace to the great Flip Saunders. These are all my vets who helped me progress as a guy and as a player. More importantly, took me under their wing, taught me finances, taught me about life, taught me how to be a young man, taught me about being professional, learning this book of business when it came to basketball, because when it comes to lockouts and all that stuff, when you have to be able to talk and negotiate your own stuff, you got to know the rules and know what it is. A lot of people don't know that the league is 2/3 of council, and you got to stay above that and understand how this whole monster works. And then if you want to be an elite, you got to dedicate yourself in the gym. You got to dedicate yourself in the business. If you're trying to be a brand of something, you have to do all these things. When you look at Jordan, you look at Kobe, you look at these brands out here, these, LeBron has a brand, KD has a brand. You have to invest in yourself to be able to, grow this. This is the elite. I'm not talking about average. I'm not talking about good. I'm not talking about great. This is the elite. These are people that's going to be on and people that you're going to remember for years to come.
Sounds like a lot. Sounds like a lot on the plate, though.
True legendary.
Now here's Wiggins over Bogdanovic. The Timberwolves again can't hit. And Kevin, when you look at Towns, is he as close to you in terms of what you were as any player you've seen maybe since you've been in the league? And young guy who plays the same position.
Cat is his own thing. He has a. I like to think that he has a little bit of me in him. He has a little bit of Chris Bosh in him. He has a little bit of Webb in him. I like to think that he has some Tim Duncan in him because he uses the glass. He uses his left. He'll slip under. He'll go under you. He's crafty. He shoots the three like Rasheed. Like he can put the ball on the floor like a guard. Like when you look at his makeup, man, he's trying to morph. Just think about what he's doing. He's at the 5. Really, I call him a 4, but he's at the 5 doing this. Him and Embiid, him and Porzingis, all these guys are morphing the center and power forward position.
It's amazing to watch. It's evolving right before our eyes.
It is, man, and it's greatness, and I'm glad I got a front row seat. I'm glad I got a super intimate relationship with my dude to be able to see the DNA to carry this on, man. This is great, man. He catch the future, bro. He's the future. Nothing better than that.
There's Galloway. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Clock is at 3. Three-pointer. Second shot opportunity. And Ewing sends it back. To the inside. Davis. 41 seconds left here in the first quarter. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
Just so resourceful as a player. Davis gets the job done inside in all sorts of ways, and that's one of them right there, crashing the offensive glass, getting that second chance bucket.
Passes it to Cameron. 23 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Here's Ewing. Gets that one to drop. First one of the game after 4 straight misses.
And after missing 4 straight, he finally gets one to go.
Timberwolves trail by 6. And here is Teague, coming off a solid outing against Cleveland. Pass to Towns. That shot, no good. And so it's New Orleans with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up very few easy points. And we'll be right back after this. The former #1 pick overall in 2015, Carl.
Every single day we're thinking about how can we be the team that we need to be to not only make the playoffs, but to make it deep into the playoffs and give ourselves a chance of being a champion.
One step at a time. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Karl Anthony Towns checked in for Lopez. Morris comes in for Justin Patton. Wiggins is checked in for Bielitsa. And Ricky Rubio is subbed in for Jeff Teague. They've got Karl Anthony Towns. Wiggins is out there with Morris. Then it's Ricky Rubio. And it's Galloway in at the 2. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Johnson, the pass to Ewing. Over Towns. A second chance effort. Wiggins with the block.
Well, using every bit of that 7-foot wingspan, Wiggins airmailing it back.
And Rubio kicks to Wiggins. To the paint. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
The free throw drops for Towns.
You get the sense that Karl Anthony Towns, as young as he is, knows he can be the best player in the league. There isn't a phase on the offensive end from which he can't score it.
Now, here's Bogdanovich. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Milwaukee.
And that's such solid, fundamental basketball on display right there, guys.
You talk about it all the time, Greg. Yeah, great use of the pick to set up the dunk.
You know, that's why we say move without the basketball. You'll be rewarded.
KG, I want to give you a special thanks for joining us, helping us with the call tonight. You always have a seat at this table to broadcast any of our games.
Oh, man, thank you, man. I appreciate you letting me come through, man. It was an honor, man, seriously.
We'll do it again soon.
Let me know, man.
That's KG. That's the great Kevin Garnett.
My dog.
And always a special occasion to have KG with us, Doris, a guy who really brings it every time we speak with him.
Well, his enthusiasm is contagious. This guy is a leader on and off the court. There's a vibrancy, a joy that he brings that was key to his success as a player and how fun as a broadcaster.
The Pelicans have gone 6 of 14 shooting here in the second. And stolen by Wiggins.
2-for-1 territory, but they got to work quick.
Right, you don't want to rush it, but you do want to get off as quick a shot as possible.
Now here's Johnson. Following the miss by Andrew Wiggins. Bogdanovich dishes to Davis. Jackson looking it over. The pass to Johnson. 5 to shoot. From 15 feet away. Ewing's shot is good. Ewing's got his second basket of the night.
How much do you love to see the turnaround?
No good that time. And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Pelican. And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. You know, Doris, for a long time, few people realized how efficient the three-point shot can be, the extra point making such a difference. Why do you think it took a while for that thought process to hold?
Well, I think obviously we have advanced metrics, and the reason we have advanced metrics is there are more ways to monitor the things that happen between the lines, right? There are cameras everywhere. We can track people's data via computer programs. But I think one of the interesting things to me, Kevin, is that Steph Curry really has changed the logistics of what defines a quality shot. Here's a guy who steps across half court, and when he does, he's in range. So the influence of Steph Curry cannot be understated.
Great example. And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. So the Pelican 5 right now. Davis is out there with Bogdanovich. Then it's Ewing. And there's Jackson. And it's Cameron in at the shooting guard position. Jackson, that's good.
And not just sustaining the lead, they're adding to it.
Right, and this is precisely what you want to do. Build up the lead and keep the pressure on.
Now, here's Rubio. He's definitely a factor in their offense, averaging 12 points a game. And the dunk by Towns.
Wow, able to survey over the top of defenses as well as squeeze into tight quarters. Rubio is the consummate playmaker.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
Bielitsa, he checks in for Minnesota. T comes in for Ricky Rubio.
I think the one constant with Tom Thibodeau is you can always hear his voice the entire game. Doesn't matter if you're up 20 or down 20, you will hear Tom Thibodeau on the sideline.
And hearing Coach Tom Thibodeau, some have described his voice as part growl, part bark.
He's very intense, Kevin, and I think the one thing you know about Tom Thibodeau, he likes to say, there is a price to pay. It's all about the work you put in.
Now here's Wiggins. He's got 6, 2 points. That one goes. Wiggins has got 8.
Oh, really smooth. Andrew Wiggins with a terrific mid-range game.
Jackson against T. Cameron, the pass to Davis. The kick out to Young. Over Wiggins. And it's Davis finishing it off.
And Kevin, plays like that, really the reason they've got a nice lead right now. Just a great job on the glass.
And Greg, the jam and the follow gets their whole bench jumping. Look at them. They are really into it.
The other bench deflated because that was a rough sequence for the defense. They hated to give up those points, but did nothing to stop it. Great beginning to this second half. Now 3 for 4 from the field.
Here's Jackson. Towns with the defensive effort. And so it's Teague with it. He'll bring it up for Minnesota. They trail by 6. Their next game is at the American Airlines Center in Dallas for a game with the Mavericks. That'll be just one game played away from home for them.
I'll tell you, somebody on the defensive end has got to step in and try to get a body on him there.
Wiggins against Young. Right side Davis. Another one falls for New Orleans.
Well, I'll tell you, he's been a go-to guy for them as they've taken this lead, and he keeps coming.
Year after year, the Timberwolves have the NBA's most grueling travel schedule. A lot of miles to cover in the West.
Kevin, if you add up their flights in a season, they could circle the globe more than twice. And let's remember, there's no frequent flyer miles here either.
Sinks the triple. Wow. And that's 11 points for Andrew Wiggins.
Now, sometimes Wiggins better off when he doesn't have to put the ball on the deck.
Young outside. Davis with it. Bielitsa's there. And that one's good by Davis. Davis has got 12 points in the game.
And I love the momentum he's building. Last game, he was just as dominant.
Well, there's no doubt this guy's on a hot streak right now. That's why he keeps getting the ball in this one. They're like, hey, we're going to feed the hot hand.
Both teams deciding to change it up. And for a look at how the competition... Cameron, the pass to Jackson. Pass to Ewing. It's tipped. They retain possession. Whiteside, good.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
We've got Markeith Morris batting out there with Bielitsa. Then it's Ricky Rubio. And it's Galloway in at the 2-guard spot. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Now, here's Rubio. Clock at 6. Back to Galloway. No good there, and that would have cut it to single digits. About a minute and a half into the fourth quarter now. New Orleans moving the ball around. Outside, Bogdanovich. Jackson has the open look. Offline with his 3. Timberwolves trail by 12. Here's Galloway. Inside, Morris. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist.
Just a really good finisher inside. Morris showing aggressiveness at the point of attack.
The Pelicans have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. Passes to Cameron. Jackson in the corner. Pass to Cameron. The 3. Cans it from downtown.
Okay, nice shot.
And the Pelicans lead by 13.
And piling on to that big lead, we know he has the range late on the defensive reaction.
You always got to D up on the perimeter. When you don't, this is what happens.
There's Galloway. Over Cameron. And that one goes long. Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Basket counts. 8 points for Hassan Whiteside.
Indicative of what we've seen tonight. One team being the aggressor, the other failing to react.
Right, really a disappointing effort on the defensive end, not offering any challenge at all at the cup.
And the Timberwolves call time here. They're down by 15. 1:57 left to play in the final quarter. Chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Anthony Davis.
And his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
And as the star of this team, he knows he's going to be the object of the crowd's anger. You know, everyone on the floor needs some level of playmaking skill, Doris. Who are your picks for bigs who can really share the ball, good passers among the big men?
Yeah, one of my favorite players in the NBA to watch is Nikola Jokic because his vision, his desire to share the basketball, his ability to see not one action ahead, but sometimes 2 actions ahead is really remarkable for a man of his size. You look at somebody like Draymond Green, who is absolutely critical to the success of the Golden State Warriors on the offensive end of the floor. He can take it off the window, he can dribble it in transition, and in full speed make decisions going second by second that are really, really impressive.
Thread passes, do such a great job with the ball. I agree with you.
Hey.
The shot's good.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Pelicans.
Starting 5 must have been happy to get so much help from the reserves in this game.
And they not only lightened the load, the subs did nothing less than guarantee a win.
And now, for the year, this is going to take him to 7 wins.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Davis.
Boy, we got to see this guy's full range of offensive ability. He scored at every opportunity and in every way imaginable.
Here's Bogdanovich, following the bucket by the Timberwolves.
And a surprise he doesn't knock that down. Defense a little too lax that time.
Kicks to Towns. We've got 28 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Count the basket.
And guys, you got to ask, where was this effort when it mattered? The game's over now.
Right. Frustrating for sure, Greg. I don't think they'll be able to mount a comeback at this point.
Now here's Jackson. We've got 13 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And the rejection by Towns.
Well, his value to this team on both ends. Not many guys can defend the perimeter and the rim the way Towns can.
And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Well, that's how you attack in transition. Remarkable effort, getting as high percentage a look as you can really get.
So we see the Pelicans taking the W here, and in the